day 184 on my morning routine this year. That means we're reaching the midpoint, the half point of the year, because it's also almost the end of June. And we've been keeping up with it, haven't we, this year? I think that's a good thing. What about you? What are you up to this morning? It's 5:22 in the morning where I'm at, and I'm about to get started on some mobility, body weight, and kettlebell exercises. But I'd be curious to hear what you're up to. Or is it the end of the day where you're at? Are you finishing the day, getting ready to go to bed, go to sleep? Or are you like me, starting the day and waking up early to get a head start and get some time in for yourself before you get busy with work, with family, or with other things? Let me know in the comments and drop by and say hello. It's always so much fun for me while I'm working out when people drop in, say hi, and leave me a message and give me some encouragement. That always helps. And I'm just going to walk over to see who's dropping by, because that's Chiefs, right? Hey, good morning, buddy. How are you doing? How's life over in the UK? You doing all right? Hope so. What are you going to do this Saturday? You going to do anything fun? Got anything planned with friends? Or are you going to do some work or study or go out and have fun? Let me know. Oh, you said something else, so I have to walk back over to read that. Nothing much, just swim. Swimming's good. Swimming's a lot of fun, and it's a great way to spend the day and to exercise and work out. That's good. How's the rest of the week been? You been doing all right? You can shout while I set up my timer for the workout. I've been doing all right. I had to give a lecture at my old university yesterday. I exercise in the pool too. Yeah, very good, very good. So you're a swimmer, like a competitive swimmer? That's pretty neat. That's also pretty intense, I guess. Or what kind of exercises can you do in the pool? I guess that's a natural resistance place, right? Because the water works against you and you have to swim through it. Yeah, swimmers are pretty fit, and it's a great sport. Good. Well, it's good to have you back here, and I'm glad to hear from you and to see that you're doing all right. I'm going to get started. Have you already picked up a kettlebell recently, or still doing other kinds of exercises? Hey, Boombox, thanks for dropping by. Ah, yeah, that's very true. Very true. You use your arms a lot. That's cool. That's cool. Oh, very good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. All right, let's get started. Because otherwise, I'm going to run out of time this morning. Just some short mobility. Nothing very fancy or special. Just checking in how I'm moving before we get started on the big moves. In case you're wondering, I don't have a cold, but it's hay fever season, and the last 2 days have been terrible in this country for hay fever. So my body is responding the way it does because of the pollen in the air. Sad fact of life, but here we are. you guys have a lot to say this morning. Look at you and see. Hey, Gingerbread, thanks for dropping by. Moondogs, you're welcome. Amritz, welcome back. Hope you're doing alright. How's life? You doing okay? Did any of you see my follow along mobility video that I posted yesterday? Anyway, I'm looking for feedback, so if you've watched it or seen it and want to tell me what you thought about it, I'd be happy to hear from you. First follow along video I ever made. Oh, and I got a spot in the personal training course, one of the best in the country, because I'm not a personal trainer, but now that I have a spot in that course, it's 2 weeks intensive course, one of the best personal training institutes in the country, that's going to be a lot of fun, because I get to then actually have the knowledge and skills to really help other people. Nourishment and hydration is key. That's a very good point. Nourishment, hydration, sleep. What are you asking? What about me? I'm good. I had a fun day yesterday where I got to go to my old university and hosted a workshop for alumni, people in their careers, on the differences between mentorship and coaching and training. And we had it was 90 minutes, but everyone stayed longer. That's always a good sign. So that was a lot of fun, and work's doing all right. Everyone's healthy in the house. Training's going well again. So yeah, I'm happy. Actually, I can't complain. Life is good. And today is Saturday, family time day, which is also always good. What about you, where you're at? Is it Friday night, Saturday morning? Got any plans for the weekend? What are we going to be doing? Let me know. I'm still mentally preparing for the next 4 weeks. We're going to be pushing this 16 kilo kettlebell around every other day, which is going to be fun. Okay, going to get started on my flow. 7 repetitions, 2 a minute. Let's see. See how well that goes for me. And I really appreciate all of you dropping by this morning and saying hi, and checking in on me, how I'm doing. It's also good to see all of you. We're getting closer and closer to 500 subscribers, by the way, if you've noticed, which is nice, because it's nice to see that people are appreciating and supporting me on this journey and all the work. So that's good. I'm happy about that. Don't worry, I'm not going to quit my day job anytime soon. But it is just nice to connect with people who are also interested in kettlebelling. So the other day we did 6. Now I'm going to try to get it to 7 in a minute. 6. 32 seconds. The important thing when you're doing them at speed, right, is that your technique is good, because you don't want to put out your back or any other part of your body because you're not moving properly. That's why we started slow and added the speed part over time. You do hand-to-hand swings. And the other thing to remember is that those swings, cleans and snatches are supposed to be explosive movements. So it's like a punch in karate or boxing. So, and then when you do many sets and many repetitions, it's easy to get tired, wear yourself out. But you have to keep bringing that technique back every time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those 4 moves, by the way, are going to form the basis of the training program, together with the two-handed kettlebell swing. And once you get a couple of weeks of those in, we'll start adding different kinds of fun exercises. Because there's so much we can do with a kettlebell. In case you're wondering, the 8 kilo is relatively light, so it's good for speed, high reps, some conditioning without wearing myself down, which is what I've done this week. Because starting Monday, I'm going to do a full strength program for 4 weeks with heavy weights. Third set. We'll be doing some clean and press drills in a moment, also with the 8 squats. Because good technique is everything. And obviously, you learn technique better with light weights. The danger always is when you're doing a deadlift to clean at speed, that you turn it into some sort of half squat, which you don't want to do, right? So the deadlift is all about the hip hinge, and the squat is all about the hinge with that full range of motion on your knees. And the lockout at the top with the overhead press, two-handed. It's great preparation for the one-handed press that comes after. I need to use heavier weights to stop myself from lazy swinging. But okay, we'll have enough time for that this week. Well, why do we train, right? Well, obviously we train because we have certain things that we like about the sport that we do. I find the techniques and skills that come along with kettlebell together with the strength and conditioning to be an interesting mix. But unless you're training for a sport, any kind of sport specific training and preparation overall, right? We're training to be fit and healthy, and for me it's longevity, to be healthy and fit over the course of life. I'm 40 right now, and I intend to be as active and as strong when I'm 50 and when I'm 60. So that'll require building up good muscle and conditioning over the next 20 years, because it is possible, barring any tragic events, to be healthy and happy and 100 years old. That's going to be something. So do you think you're going to be watching this stream or following me on YouTube or any other channel when I'm 100? That'd be fun, right? But tell me what your training goals are, if you have any, and let's talk about them. Or I can share my goals, and you can share yours. Whew. Okay, now we're going to go to cleans. And the important thing with the clean, of course, is first of all that you don't bang yourself up, like I did with the snatch a few days ago. It's also important that it is also an explosive movement. So what you want to be doing is you want to be using the momentum created by the thrust of your hip hinge, of your deadlift pattern, right, on the swing, to force it up and then receive it on the forearm before bringing it to rest here in the rack position, single hand rack position, two-handed clean that we hold here is one of the most important ones in kettlebell because it allows you to train each side of your body. And it is the starting point for, and the end point for some of the more complex exercises. So investing in learning the clean, once you have the strength and conditioning to pick up and work with the kettlebell properly, just becomes so much more important. That was a very good one. It also stays close to the body, right? So clean is not all the way around through the front, but it stays nice and tight to the body. And that's also something to be mindful of. I think my clean on the right is just so much better than my clean on the left. But we'll get there over time. You're always going to have one dominant side. Some coordination challenges on the other side. But that is completely fine. The thing about not banging yourself up is this is an 8 kilo kettlebell, right? You know, I'm relatively trained and strong at the moment. So I can control it also with my grip. The speed at which it's decelerating onto my body. But when you do that with a 20 or 24 kilogram, you know, it's just important to have the right technique so you don't end up hurting yourself. Because training is supposed to be fun. And when we hurt ourselves, it's not fun. And we want to stop training. Which is not the point of this kind of training program and exercises. Right? Anyway, that's how I feel about it, but you let me know how you feel about that. So recovering from injuries takes time. I think, what was it? Around April when I had my neck hernia and had to stop training. That was a good one. Another good one. See what I mean with an explosive movement? If you lazy swing, you don't get that momentum into the kettlebell that is going to help you bring the weight to its rack position or to the snatch position overhead for that matter. So that hip snap is incredibly important, not only in kettlebell sports. So anyway, we're talking about injuries, right? So when you have that injury, like I had my neck hernia, you can see, I didn't have time to train, all I could do was walk. And that took its toll on my progress. Now we've caught up, but catching up to where I was before the injury is not the same as actually being as far ahead as I could have been after I had the injury. So just keep that in mind. A hernia is always something you have some control of, but not a lot. I was just unlucky. But like I banged up my wrist last week with snatches, and it was really painful to do any kind of exercise. Right, we're going to move on to the press. The press starts in the rack position. You do your arm out to the side. Glutes, quads, core, ribcage down, out and up, and suck that arm into the socket and back down. I think the hard part is to keep your body in that locked position, breathing behind the shield. But that's really where a lot of the power is in kettlebell training. So anyone still watching, you want to give me a thumbs up or some flames or a wave, say hello. I appreciate that, and I'd also like to hear from you. What you're up to, where you're going, plans for the weekend. Here it depends on whether it's going to rain as much as it did, or whether the sun's going to come out, what we end up doing in a day. And that's going to be all good. Hey, someone else dropped by. Let me come and say hello. Johnny, thanks. Appreciate that. Yeah, I've been going at it every day. Have we met before? Or if we have, I'm sorry, I forgot, but I'm glad that you've dropped by again. I appreciate that. How are you doing today? Is it Friday night where you are, or Saturday morning where you're at? What about you? You still training? I'm going to start a new strength program on Monday. I'm just taking it easy this week, lightweight, just greasing the groove, I guess, on certain exercises that I'm going to be doing with heavier weights. And tomorrow morning, by the way, I'm going to go out for a 1 hour run after I do some mobility here. We're also adding in some body weight again, because I'm confident enough about that at the moment. By the way, I can tell you one thing about kettlebell training that's going to catch you off guard as a man. You're going to look more and more like the statue of a Greek god in your clothes. And should you ever decide to lean down, I'm pretty sure you're going to look like the statue of a Greek god on the beach as well. Not that those are personal goals of mine, but I have noticed a physical change. And it's not the aesthetic look that I think a lot of people are interested in and going after at the moment. It is a slightly different look, which I think is more geared to functionality and power. So if that's something you're interested in, then give the kettlebells a try. Give my program a try when it comes out. Once I've recorded it. Almost done. I'm just going to do some windmills, and then we're going to be a-okay for the rest of the day. There we go. Friends, that was it for the morning. Thank you so much for dropping by. Johnny, Street Poet, Amritz, Chief, Boombox, Gingerbread. I really appreciate you dropping by, saying hello. I wish you all a good Saturday. Like I always say, we're good just the way we are. We've got to love ourselves before we can move on. And the only way to get anything done is by showing up and doing the work. So I'll see you tomorrow. Take care, friends.